There's nothing worth more that could ever come close. No thing can compare. God, our living host. Your presence, Lord. I've tasted and seen of the sweetest of loves, where my heart can fly free and my shame is undone. Your presence, Lord. I want to say it again. There's nothing worth more that could ever come close. No thing can compare. God, our living host. Your presence, Lord. I've tasted and seen of the sweetest of loves, where my heart can fly free and my shame is undone. Your presence, Lord. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, Lord. Your presence, Lord. Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, Lord. Your presence, Lord. Come on all over the house, say, Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, Lord. Your presence, Lord.
Our living hope, the one who frees our hearts that lives within us. I give you glory, I give you praise today. I recognize you. I recognize you in this room. I recognize you in every heart. I recognize you in this philosophy of life that's whole purpose is to make the world a better place for all. I recognize you beyond the walls of this place. I recognize you in everything that is, from the sunset to the sunrise, to all the seasons. You are everywhere. And so today I am just knowing that the service is blessed. The service was blessed before it even began, because it is the intention of this place to change lives within the service and in every day of the week, 24 hours a day. And so I know that we've all come together today to make this service exactly what it is intended to be: perfect, whole, and complete. And so I thank our board of directors. I thank our senior minister, Reverend Celeste, who brings the word every week and works tirelessly for this community. And so I'm just knowing that what she has to say today is not just an inspiration for this hour, but that actually inspires us to live our lives more fully and in service. I bless and thank everyone who has had a part in this service, our ushers, our practitioners who hold vigil and who tend to the prayer box, to our wonderful musicians who inspire us. And so I am just knowing that all is well, that the good of God is at hand here, so everything is a success. And so I release this word in gratitude for it all. I say, so it is. Amen and Ashe.
Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, Lord. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come on and say, Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, Lord. Your presence, Lord. One more time and sing it for yourself. Come on. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, Lord. Your presence, Lord. Your presence, Lord.
Yes. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Revelations. So good morning, everybody. It's really good to see you all on this wonderful second Sunday in January. My name is Kimberly Satterfield. I'm a practitioner here, and I just want to put a shout out. There are many practitioners here today. We all really, really want to serve you and pray for you. And I will let you know that there is a new entrance to the prayer room, so we don't have to work on that door, trying to keep it open and trying to keep it closed. So the door that we'll use from now on is the one that's closest to the front entrance. Oh, and I want to remind you that this is a free service that we provide. Yes, a free service. We want to pray with you. That is what we are trained to do. That is what we are committed to do. So please see us after service, or if you need to run out, then our numbers are available on the website. So we are now going to recite our declarations of principles. You can find those under your chair. And I just want to say that this is something that I repeat every morning before I even get out of bed. I just find that it's so helpful to keep me really in the spirit of this philosophy. So let's say these together. What we believe. We believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. We believe in the individualization of the Spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of the one Spirit. We believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. We believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. We believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete freedom from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. We believe in the unity of all life and the highest God, and the innermost God is one God. We believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that everyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. We believe that the universal Spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. We believe in the healing of the sick through the power of this mind. We believe in the control of conditions through the power of this mind. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. We believe in our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny, where we understand that the life of all is God, and so it is.
Thank you, Kimberly. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Reverend Celeste Frazier, spiritual leader of the East Bay Church of Religious Science. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Know that wherever you come from, whatever your background, whatever your race is, whatever your politics are, whatever economic bracket you came in, none of that is relevant once you walk into these doors, because you are held in love, you are welcome. So please make yourself at home. I want to point out a couple of things about our declaration of principles that I'll be with today. I like to do 3. The first one is the manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. So, the self-knowingness of God as revealed through us. We're going to be talking about that today. And we believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. So we get to create heaven on earth. We're going to be with that today. And last but not least is we believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. So we're going to have a nice journey today into those aspects of our philosophy, of our way of life. So you ready? Yes. All right. Good to see you all here today. I want to acknowledge any first-time visitors who are here for the very first time. Please stand so that we may confer a blessing upon you. Yes, 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 yes. So the congregation raises our hands in your direction, and they repeat after me. Welcome to the East Bay Church of Religious Science.
Welcome to the East Bay Church of Religious Science.
We know who you are.
We know who you are.
You are a unique individualization of love.
You are a unique individualization of love.
Of intelligence. Of beauty. You are a special way that God is happening on this planet.
You are a special way that God is happening on this planet.
We thank God for you.
We thank God for you.
Welcome to the East Bay Church of Religious Science.
Welcome to the East Bay Church of Religious Science.
Please take your seats with honor. Let the rose remind you of your inner beauty as you look at its outer beauty. And don't forget your inner beauty once the rose's lifespan is expired. And the other thing I want to invite you to do, and our announcer will reiterate this, but this is what I want you to know, those packets that they handed you. Inside of there is information about us. There's a letter from me, and there's some wonderful information about who we are. But there's a form in there that I invite you to fill out your name and your contact information so we can stay in touch. We want to let you know when special things are happening. There's a lot going on. We won't bother you a lot, but we do want to keep you apprised of how we may serve you. So please avail yourself of that opportunity. There'll be a free CD for you at the visitor welcome table in the fellowship hall. That's the hall off of Telegraph Avenue. Our team will be there to answer your questions and to take your information. So, let's reach out and touch. Let's reach for someone's heart and grab their hand, or give them a hug, but at least a smile.
Reach out and touch his heart. Make this world a better place. Make a start. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. Yes, we can. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. Yes, we can. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. Yes, we can. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. Yes, we can. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. Yes, we can. Make this world a better place. Yes, we can. Make this world a better place. Yes, we can. Make this world a better place. Yes, we can. Make this world a better place. Yes, we can. Ooh.
Try again. I think he turned the mic. It's on. I think he turned it on.
And I'd like to invite Lynn up to make our community announcements.
Thank you, Kimberly. Good morning, East Bay. How's everybody this morning? Oh, great. Well, I have some wonderful information for you about our community opportunities. So, first-time visitors, you've had, as all of us have, many, many choices of what to do with your Sunday morning, and you chose to be with us. So we are so grateful for you being here. Please turn in the completed information that you received with your rows and to the fellowship table in the front of the church, and you'll get a free CD of the service. We would love to stay in touch with you and thank you for your presence here. Membership update. There is a membership table in the front of the church in the fellowship hall. And members and friends, we need your contact information. So if you haven't updated your contact information, please stop by the membership table and let us know your new information so that we can stay in touch. We also, I'm sure it's also important for many of you to make sure we have correct information so we can send you your tax deductible information for your contributions to East Bay. Okay. Also, you can stop by the membership table and get your questions answered about membership at East Bay. The new member sessions, the new member orientation sessions are January 19th and January 26, 2020. So if you're interested in being a member, note those dates and come to the orientation. Suggestion box. Remember, we have a suggestion box in the front, also by the window, in front of the window on facing Telegraph Avenue in the fellowship hall. We have ideas all the time, like how we changed the entrance to our prayer room, that we appreciate from anyone who has ideas about how to uplift and benefit our community. So please take time and share them with us. Anyone who enters through the parking lot or walks around our church can't possibly miss the gratitude tree that is on the wall. How many people have seen it? Isn't it absolutely beautiful? Yeah. So we're beginning to put the leaves on the gratitude tree. So any amount of money that you donate will have your name on it, and it will go on the tree. So make sure that your name is part of East Bay and continue to live in gratitude. We have a series of winter classes. We're excited about our winter roster. It has something for everyone: prosperity, treatment, meditation, Egyptian spirituality, and more. Visit the education table in the fellowship hall for more information and register today for classes and discounts there or at the kiosk today. So Reverend Celeste is going to talk about Egyptian roots of science of mind.
Actually, I'm going to talk about 4T today, but I can talk about both.
Okay.
Well, Egyptian roots of science of mind, doesn't that sound intriguing? Well, these facilitators, and in particular Reverend Vianella, is offering Egyptian roots of science of mind. Dr. Maisha will be doing a couple of the classes, but Reverend Vianella will be doing most of them online. So it doesn't matter where you are on the planet, you can take this class. And rather than try to sweat the $200 at first, we're making it available in $50 payments per class. And you also have the option of coming here if technology is a challenge for you. We'll be meeting in Fellowship Hall for that class so that you can be able to experience it without having to fumble around with your computer, okay? And there's a mystical dimension to this teaching, and that goes back into ancient history. And that is going to be the substance of this class. So if you really are ready to go deeper, I invite you to sign up today for this class. All right? 4T. Blam! 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 You get all three of these, and this is 12 CDs. Okay? Where can you go and get 12 CDs plus a workbook, plus an activity workbook where you can be working on all of your thoughts and all of your affirmations and all of your insights for $55? Where can you get that? East Bay. Of course we want you to tithe, because part of this is teaching tithing, 4 T's, tithing, talent, treasure, time. So it's about service, it's about giving, it's about, like I told you last week, I love you means I give you. So we're going to learn how to put that into practice, okay? I have someone who took the 4T class with us last summer. You want to say something about that, Hope?
Why, certainly, Reverend C. A little loud. So, good morning, East Bay. Good morning. I'm Hope Anderson. I'm one of the licensed practitioners here. And I did have the good fortune of taking 4T Prosperity last summer. And what was interesting as a practitioner, you know, part of our training is that we are always educating ourselves, actively evolving, studying. And it became clear after talking to Reverend E and looking at my life that this would be something that would really be a benefit to me. I was in a transition. I had just separated from my husband and was in the process of divorce. I had moved out. I was on my own. I hadn't been on my own in quite a while. And I was just in this huge transition, trying to figure out if I was going to leave my job, you know, what I wanted to do next. And of course, it was just the perfect timing. As soon as I said yes to the 4T Prosperity class, within 3 weeks, I had received a significant raise at work. I got promoted within, I think, like 6 or 7 days of the course. I was promoted to a new position where I made significantly more money monthly. So when we just say yes to spirit, when we say yes to transformation, when we say yes to being bigger and showing up bigger in our life, watch what happens. I said yes. The universe said, and so it is, and so it is. So come on out and watch and see what happens, the transformations and blessings in your life. And I'll probably be in the class again. I know you don't like me being a repeat, but, you know, I'm just getting it deeper. You know, it just goes deeper. So I look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you.
Thanks, Hope. Continuing on with classes, treatment and meditation is being taught by Arlene, and she's here. Oh, there she is. She's at the sound booth, so if you want to put a face to the name, those of you who don't know Arlene, there's maybe 2 people here. Establish or reestablish meditation and spiritual mind treatment practices. This is an accredited class and is facilitated by Arlene King. Strengthen and renew your knowledge of treatment. Solidify your meditation practices. Tuition is $225, and the prerequisite is foundation or beyond limits. This class meets on Thursday, starting January 16th from 6:30 to 9:30 right here. It's a great class. Treatment and meditation. Register it, especially if you're on the practitioner class, practitioner track. It's a required class. Okay. Community Peace Circle. This is, I think, going to be so exciting. Community Peace Circle. This Friday, January 17th, East Bay will host a Community Peace Circle regarding gentrification, and it will be here in the sanctuary from 6:30 to 8:30. Restorative Justice of Oakland Youth will facilitate healing circles around this sensitive subject. If you have concerns about it or would like some healing around it, please be here, and there's no cost to attend. Okay. And one other announcement, this Saturday we are having a Creating a Vision Board workshop. Al, just wave your hand. It will be here on Saturday from 10 to 2. And it's something that we used to do all the time at East Bay. We used to create vision boards to just sort of put out in front what you wanted to have for the upcoming year. So come to that workshop. It's $25. Mary Allen is going to talk about the Young Adult Project.
Good morning, East Bay. Good morning. My name is Mary Allen. I'm one of the leads in the Young Adult Ministry.
Hi, my name is Shay. I'm also one of the leads in the Young Adult Ministry.
And today we're going to talk about our toiletry drive. Our purpose for doing this toiletry drive is to address the homeless issue we have in Oakland that's had a 47% surge in the past 2 years. We have over 4,000 people homeless in Oakland right now, living under freeway, underpassing, exits, near BART stations. And our way of addressing that need is to have a toiletry drive. And we're asking East Bay, you and others, to help contribute to this drive by providing toiletries. We have a bin in the back, and we also have an Amazon account which you can buy the items, and we can distribute them from there.
Also, we will accept drop-offs here. We are looking to do this by the 14th of February, but, we'll see.
Okay. I know y'all don't collect these things from hotels because you have them for an emergency. You might just be collecting them for homeless people. I'm just saying.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please turn your attention to the screen for the announcement about the Women's Retreat. And thank you for your attention to the announcements.
imagine a getaway just for you. Leave your cares behind and travel to a beautiful place. Lush trees, green hills, bountiful grasslands, beautiful blue skies, and quiet. In the offing, you spot a beautiful baby deer, as curious about you as you are about it. Hiking trails, farm-to-plate meals, a labyrinth sculpted in the grass of a rich, verdant green space where you can sing, dance, shout, pray, meditate, or simply be. Join us for some sister time or me time. Journaling or jacuzzi, it's up to you how you design it. Your East Bay family wants you to be free. Free to do you, your way. Join Reverend Celeste, Queen Michelle, Jordan, and more as we play, sing, dance, meditate, hike, eat, workshop, create, pray, and eat some more. Join us July 31st to August 2nd at Earthrise in Petaluma for
Are we blessed or are we blessed? Oh my goodness. So many opportunities. So now we are going to have our community song, and that will be followed by our wonderful musical inspiration by Sharon Henderson and Revelations.
Okay, if you'll rest on your feet, get ready to sing. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind. This morning with my mind stay. Come on, church. Spirit. I woke up this morning. Stay on spirit. I just woke up this morning with my mind. Stay on spirit. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And I say this all the time, and I say it to remind myself, God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good. 24/7, 365, somebody said in the back. 366 this year. And we got another one where God is good. One more day. Yes, yes. Oh, gosh. Through it all, God has brought me a long way when I didn't know it was the God that was also me. God still brought me then from what my mother taught me. But now I know something else about coming through it all with God right there inside of me. So this song speaks to that being brought all the way through it all. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Ooh, whatever your burdens, whatever your pain, there will always be the sunshine after the rain. You may stumble and you may even fall, but God is always right there beside you through it all. Your life may be filled with what looks like despair, and it may seem to you like nobody cares. Help in every need. God is my every hunger feed. God walks beside me, guides my way through every moment of the day. I now am wise, I now am true, patient, kind, and loving too. All things I am, can do, and be through Christ the truth that is in me. Oh, through it all. Through the storm, through the rain, through the trial. through it all. Oh, yeah, yeah. Ooh. She's just saying that's on my CD, so I'll repeat that on the microphone. I wrote that song some years ago during a dark night of the soul, and those are behind me based on this philosophy, but it might serve to hope and heal someone else, so I still sing it with that same fervor. And so now we get to be participants and maybe get our shout on or get at least our clap and our dance on, because we have a new understanding. Yes, yes? We're walking in a new understanding. Yes? All right, let's act like it. Come on.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, come on, come on. All right, there in the back, come on, I see you. Come on, get it, get it. I'm walking in a new understanding. The light of God shines as me. I'm walking in a new understanding, and so it is, and so it shall be, and so it is, and so it shall be. I'm walking in a new understanding. The light of God shines as me. I'm walking in a new understanding, and so it is, and so it shall be, and so it is, and so it shall be. I used to think of a God on high, far, far away, beyond the sky, until I heard a word that changed my point of view. It says, God's my chance as me and as you, and I'm walking in a new understanding. The light of God shines as me. I'm walking in a new understanding, and so it is, and so it shall be, and so it is, and so it shall be. In this new understanding, I can see how God needs you and God needs me to be the light for all to see. And as we shine, we'll set the captive free. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Shine your light, shine it bright. Somebody may be in the valley low, and shine your light, shine it bright. Somebody may be on the mountain, shine your light, shine it bright. I'm walking in a new understanding. The light of God shines as me. I'm walking in a new understanding, and so it is, and so it shall be, and so it is, and so it shall be. Come on, sing with me. I'm walking in a new understanding. The light of God, the light of God shines as me. I'm walking in a new understanding, and so it is, and so it shall be, and so it is, and so it shall be. Come on, and so it is, and so it shall be. Yeah, yeah. All right. it shall be.
That's Sharon Henderson and Reflection. Let's get him some more love. Yes, I got a new understanding. Y'all don't even know. Woo. Okay, yeah, we know she's a trooper. A lot of people have been sick around here lately. That's why I had to stay home a couple of days, because I didn't want none of that. I know germs don't travel, but mindsets do. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about what is on your mind. Because what is on your mind is being revealed through your life. This is what we teach. This is what we know. A new understanding. Oh my goodness. Y'all don't even know. I was about 6 or 7 years old, and I was in Lake Michigan. Our family had a summer home. We used to go up to Union Pier, Michigan, and we used to get in the beach, and at one point I was out there playing with my cousin, who was also my bestie. We weren't really cousins. We were kind of cousins by marriage. And anyway, so we were out there because we hung tough. Next thing you know, I went down in the water. Not once, but twice. So my cousin had called for my aunt. She jumped in with her clothes on and got me out of the water. And there have been a lot of kids that drowned in Union Pier all the summers. It was, middle-class black families that would go up there and, have summer and get away from Chicago for a little bit. And every year you'd find out about somebody drowning. And my cousin, who actually helped to save my life, he ended up drowning in a boating accident in that same lake, Lake Michigan. So I had this thing like around water, up until last Monday. I'd had swimming classes before. As a young lady, Christine Chauffeur was trying to bring in to do an announcement that she wanted to come in last week. I'm like, we got too many announcements, we can't fit you in, but I'm interested. Teaching African American women how to swim who have fear around water. And I went there last Monday night, and she was talking about floating on your back, and I was like, I'm not comfortable with that. She said, well, I'm going to give you a couple of these things. You know those things you lay on? Yeah, noodles. And so then she took one away. And then she said, I'm going to hold your head. Then she took her hand away. She said, I'm taking my hand away. Oh, my God, I never had such peace. I was floating on my back, y'all. Yeah. That's a new understanding. See, you can talk about having a new understanding, but, it's different when you live it. I can sit up here and tell y'all so many stories about new understandings, new layers of understanding, new layers of discoveries, new layers of realizations, that have gone on through my life. So I'm knowing. Whatever your burden, whatever your pain, talking about your life may be filled with despair. Yeah. I've had those moments in the not too distant past. There's been some dark moments. And even in that, it seems sometimes like nobody cares, like the lyric says. And those are hard moments to be with. And then you get to be with those moments with God. You've got to invite God into that conversation. Because if you don't invite God into that conversation, then all you're going to be in is darkness. But when you invite God into that conversation, then the light comes on. The light sheds all over your mind, and you come to understand your part in it. You come to understand your thoughts that help to create that. You come to understand that belief system that's been dragging you down into the undertow. Right? And unless you're ready to rise and to be able to overcome that situation, those deep places where it seems so hard, seems like such a struggle, seems so frightening. And to be able to come to an understanding that I get to choose differently in order to have a new experience, in order, first of all, to have a new way of just being in my mind, being with myself, being with my thoughts, because my thoughts cannot remain the same as long as I invite light into that conversation. I want y'all to know that. Think about it, when you start to cry, your nose starts to run a little bit. So, I am not alone in the effects of my seeing. That's what the Course in Miracles says. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. General Qassem Soleimani, one of the most respected figures in Iran, gets taken out of here by our 45th president without asking anybody. So, they say there was an imminent threat. An imminent threat. Oh, what could that be? Could it be all of the many rockets that came across? Could it be one of the many threats that were happening? That they kept accelerating more and more rockets? At least that was the explanation that I remember Mr. Trump saying to people in a way that wasn't quite as blustery as it had been his presentations before. There was a little bit of humility in there. I detected there was a little bit of hesitancy about being bravado about it. I don't think he's that particularly a good actor, but I could be mistaken. I think there was a kind of awakening. I think there was a kind of an understanding that this wasn't just business as usual. So doing an aggressive strike and then following it with economic sanctions really prompted the Democrats to have a war powers resolution. Resolutions are non-binding, but still there's a resolution. So there was a document written, a legal document that says, you know what? If this was a wag the dog kind of a situation, if this was supposed to be some kind of a distraction from impeachment inquiries and impeachment trials, who knows? But what I know is Reverend William Barber and the Poor People's Campaign have already asked for some kind of a war crime to be spoken. You know, I know that there's a call for the UN Charter that prohibits the use of force. And so even though there's a lot of senators who could probably stop that kind of a thing, there's something a little different, but we're all experiencing the same situation. I'm not going to honor it by saying a reality. It's a situation. It's a circumstance. It's a condition that we're all sharing. Some people got pretty freaked out about it. Some people were really concerned, including some clergy friends were like really kind of freaked out about it, right? To the point where I put up a prayer for world peace by Ernest Holmes on social media to remind people. The interesting thing about it was that I didn't get caught up in that. Sometimes I just don't. Sometimes I just have an understanding with Rumi that if you live life as if everything is rigged in your favor, then you help to co-create that. right? And so I wasn't really, looking to seek cover, thinking that, there was some kind of danger that was coming to me or my loved ones. I thought that perhaps if I were going to be doing any travel, that I might have to take extra precautions based on the behavior of TSA and all of those people who are under government regulations. But I didn't really feel fear. I'm not speaking for you. I'm just speaking for me. But Ernest Holmes says there is no plan for my life outside of whatever plan I shall make. There's no plan outside of what plan I make. Consciousness awaits my direction, right? And should I not be wise, it will follow my unconscious thought. So what are your unconscious thoughts that you've put into motion that have helped to kind of create this whole sense of danger, right? It's fear. And this is not to make you feel guilty. It's just to make you aware of how powerful your thoughts can contribute to the world of effects, to the world of affairs. And to think that you're outside of that is to be mistaken. So when we talk about consciousness, when we talk about staying awake, we want to stay awake with whatever the thoughts are that we are promoting into the universe, because those thoughts will be revealed. They cannot help but be revealed. This is how the law works. It must show up as an effect. And so this is another quote. I have not been studying war. Oh, this is me. I'm sorry, this isn't a quote, this is me. It's me quoting me. I have not been studying war. I have seen others around me quivering in fear, including clergy, but I have not been frightened. And I do not think that is being naive. I do think it is expecting the good. I do think it's expecting the good. And so that's not an ostrich in the sand. That's just, if you're not expecting the good, then who will? Are you going to take the chance and leave it up to somebody else? I'm just asking. Might as well start with me. And I'm not trying to co-create a condition that I do not want. Because I firmly believe that principle is not bound by precedent. What does that mean? God is not bound by what happened before. God is not bound by what happened yesterday, a year ago, 12 years ago, 120 years ago, 1,200 years ago. God is not bound. Like when you have like creativity, it can create anything. When you have like abundance, there's an abundance of possibilities that can occur. And so what do you want to do? Keep choosing the same thing over and over again and have the same experience? Or do you really want to be able to go into an understanding of what's possible? The Science of Mind says the power flows through us. We must provide the consciousness. The power is limitless, and it must become operative through our own thought. Right? So this is the power. You know, a lot of times we're thinking, oh yes, if God would only, right? So imagining that something has power that you don't even fully understand is kind of like fantasy land, right? I mean, I can create fantasy. I've written enough fiction to be able to know how to create fantasy, but that only goes so far as the stage. That doesn't go in terms of my whole life. Unless I am so embodying this kind of a state of mind that I'm carrying it with me wherever I go. That's the thing. It's like, do you remember the Snoopy gang, right? And so there was Pigpen, like he was always having a cloud around his head, right, wherever he went. And there was representing dirtiness, but I'm thinking it was dirty thoughts. I don't mean obscene thoughts. I know you went there. I mean, there's a consciousness that has to outpicture based on your thoughts. So if you were filthy, then you're going to look filthy on the outside. If you're thinking filthy, you're going to be filthy on the outside. But here's what I want you to know. a psychologist walked around a room while he was teaching stress management to the audience. And she raised a glass of water. And everybody thought she was going to say, well, is it half empty or half full? But that's not what she said. She said, how much does this weigh? Want to guess? Right? Okay. So these people started guessing like that. They were like 8 ounces up to 20 ounces, right? And she said, the absolute weight doesn't matter. What matters is how long you hold it. If I hold it for a minute, it's not a problem. If I hold it for an hour, I'll have an ache in my arm. If I hold it for a day, my arm will feel numb and paralyzed. In each case, the weight of the glass doesn't matter. It doesn't change. But the longer I hold it, the heavier it becomes. The stresses and worries in life are like water, like a glass of water. You think about them for a while and nothing happens. You think about them a bit longer and they begin to hurt. And if you think about them all day long, you start feeling paralyzed, incapable of doing anything. Remember to put the glass down. So I don't know if you like me, you may play scenes over and over again. Sometimes I wonder if people are looking at me because I have an ear and a memory for dialogue that just won't quit. That's why I don't know why people try to act like they didn't say things, and it's already like implanted in my brain. As a point of information, you might want to keep in mind. But anyway, I'll play it over and over and over in my mind, and I'm like, Celeste, why are you holding on to this? Why do you keep playing this over and over and over again in my mind? Because I'm not good with it. And until I am finished with it, it's going to keep playing over and over and over and over in my mind. And that's just not something that is comfortable, nor is it something that is productive. It's not helping me move past this feeling that I'm having, See, life is a mirror, and it will reflect back to the thinker what you think into it. So when you are thinking that, well, this president, he's going to do you really want to go into World War III? I'm just asking. So stop thinking about it. I'm not saying deny the condition, but you get to have a selective vigilance. What does that mean? Practitioners in the back right now holding vigil for our service. They're holding the highest and best possible idea for this service to unfold, right? So if anything goes wrong, you can just blame them, but I'm not beyond that. They're holding us all up spiritually. They're holding something for this service that is for our highest and best good. So have a selective vigilance. So when you are looking at the world, looking at your family, looking at your own life, choose that higher vibration so that you can also manifest something higher than perhaps what you were experiencing yesterday. The thing is, we are surrounded by an infinite intelligence. So Ernest Holmes tells us the possibility of healing physical disorders, changing environment, attracting friends, and demonstrating supply through the power of right thinking rests entirely on the theory that we are surrounded by an infinite mind which reacts to our thought according to law. An intelligent universe responds to our inner states. So be really present with what your inner state is. To the extent that we are able to learn our mental states, we will automatically control our environment. So don't think for a minute that you don't have control over this thing called life. You absolutely do. So, I want you to know that I have proof that principle is not bound by precedent. In June of 2019, Costa Rica banned styrofoam. That was a major win for the environment. It prohibits the import, the marketing, the distribution of polystyrene containers throughout the country. That's a giant step for public health, for the environment, and for the economy of the country because styrofoam promotes pollution. Now, July of 2019, Ethiopia planted 355 million trees in 24 hours. A day, 355 million trees. Because they know reforesting the planet is the best way to combat climate change and protect the planet. Because trees also restore ecosystems. And they provide food. And they preserve water sources, making them a key part of sustainable development. Volunteers, government officials, aid workers planted more than 353 million trees in Ethiopia. So, why did they do this? Their environment had been heavily degraded over the past few decades. In the early 20th century, trees occupied 35% of the country's landmass. Since 2000, tree coverage had dropped to 4%. So in addition to rampant deforestation, soil throughout the country had eroded. You know what? There's no soil, there's no food, people, right? And then climate change was hitting Ethiopia hard because they had extreme droughts. And it devastated their farming communities, okay? But they planted 353 million trees. On September 19th, 2019, the Air Force named its new jet after the Tuskegee Airmen. Now, for those of you who don't know, I don't know if you were living under a rock or whatever it was. The Tuskegee Airmen were African American fighter pilots. They weren't celebrated. They were just given like the hard duties, like go out there and protect the other people and, you know, do something bold to distract them. That's why they had the red tails, so they made sure that they got the attention so everybody would aim for them instead of the other jets. But 65 years later, they named the jet the T-7A Red Hawk to commemorate the achievements of the African American fighter pilots in World War II. So 332nd Fighter Group, manned by African American pilots in a segregated U.S. military, were not even considered to be worthy of being in the military, but they were worthy enough to risk their lives. 65 years later, the planes are named after them. November of 2019, Italy becomes the first country to make climate change education mandatory. So the school year that just started, Italy is the first country in the world to include mandatory teaching hours about matters linked to climate issues. Lorenzo Fioramonti, the Minister of Education, said 33 hours a year will be built into the curriculum regarding this topic. So you can't tell me that things don't change. You can't tell me that somebody can't make up their mind so that something different will happen than has ever happened before. You can't tell me that there isn't a way that things can change. And it doesn't take a whole bunch of people, right? Margaret Mead, never doubt that a small group of people can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Right? So changing your mind, changing your thoughts, changing your perception, changing your beliefs truly is changing your life. So what I want you to know is that in this very complex life, whatever your burden is, as Kimberly said, quoting the lyrics, all things are working for your good. God's intentional, never failing. So know that. That goes for you. When you decide to be intentional, God will not fail you. I invite you to look for the highest possible idea and the greatest possible belief in yourself, in each other, and especially in God. For in God, all things are possible. Namaste. As Booker Dykes brings forth our prayer box, our treatment box, I invite all practitioners and ministers to please stand to join me in this treatment. I am knowing this wonderful presence, this thing called God, is right here as the all, through the all, in the all. It is the all. It is the wholeness, it is the freedom, it is the perfection, it is the completeness. It is the right action, it is the divine guidance, it is wisdom, it is knowing, it is truth. It is my life, my essence, my substance. And as I know that this is true for me, I know it's true for everyone present. So I speak my word from this oneness. I know that God is able. I know that God is moving through each and every mind of everything that is. That God is the mind that is inherent in every life form, every life expression, every life that is invisible. So no senses are necessary in order for God to work through it. And so what I'm knowing is whether or not we have absolute evidence of it or not, that the only way that we shall know is by saying yes to it. And so I speak a word blessing Reverend E as she thinks about her beloved grandson, Gabriel, who is now in the hospital with his liver breaking down. And so we're knowing that all of this activity that has been happening around his drug use, that there is something now that is breaking through. Perhaps this is the breakthrough for him. Perhaps this is an opportunity, given a different slant on things, a different situation, a different circumstance, a different condition that is making a way for him to choose again. For him to absolutely know that beyond whatever he has been doing for however long he has been doing it, and based on whatever beliefs that he's had, that there's an opportunity now for him to surrender, just as Harry has surrendered, in order to have a new plot, a new direction, a new purpose, a new way of living. To absolutely be willing to know that you are free, Gabriel, to move past any kind of seeming walls that seem to have kept you limited to only one way of being, one way of seeing. I accept perfect peace for his mother, his grandmother, the entire family as they think about him, as they are with him, knowing that whatever he has done is irrelevant in the past. And so we just simply hold him in the light of wholeness, perfection, completeness. We hold him in the knowingness that God is, and that God is intentional. We know that God never fails. So we accept and expect only the highest and best good. I know peace Peace that passes all understanding for our sister Carol Johnson Williams, whose mother shuffled off the mortal coil last week. This beautiful, energetic, strong woman that we know. And that Melrose is now in the invisible, without any kind of restrictions, without any kind of limitations, without any heaviness, without any need for any kind of fortitude to push through. For I'm knowing that she is just simply riding on the wings of love. And so whatever her next dimension is, that she is able to be celebrating in her joy, free from all the situations, circumstances, and conditions. I know this is true for the entire family of Gene Wiley as we prepare for this service that is coming up this weekend. And we're knowing that everyone who has a part in that particular ceremony is absolutely finding a way to see how Jean has made an imprint on their lives, how she has impressed them with the spirit of who she is, and that each one who has been touched by her is now different because she lived in the flesh. And so I'm knowing that her life is going on in the invisible, and that this celebration is just an affirmation of her goodness that she has revealed in her life and on the lives of others. We hold our precious sister, Precious Green, in our hearts as she goes in her Ohio mode with the celebration of her Aunt Albertha Williams' life. That even as they're finishing or whatever the final details are around these services, that they are not heavily burdened by the circumstance, and they are absolutely able to be freed up, knowing that Albertha is not suffering, that there is no burden that she has, that she's free. And so we know, and we celebrate this life that Albertha is, because we know Precious. And because we know Precious, we're able to send love to this entire family and just envelop them through our thoughts with this energetic field of absolute love, lifting them into their joy for having known Albertha. I'm knowing that right where Gail Ritchie is, that God is, that peace is, as she thinks about her cousin Linda Allen Henry, as she thinks about her godmother's son Danny, who's critically ill. We know peace is greater than any kind of sorrow, greater than any kind of worry. As we say, if you're going to worry, don't pray. If you're going to pray, don't worry. So if she can't do the praying, we'll do it for her and with her now. But we're knowing that God is able to reveal itself through Linda Allen Henry and to reveal itself through Danny. And we know that all things are always working together for the highest and best good, and that includes for the East Bay Church of Religious Science, a center for spiritual living. And so we're living spiritually because we are spirits, and we are living. And so we know that spirit is able to do anything and everything that will absolutely transform, revolutionize, restore, and absolutely reveal a higher idea of East Bay that has ever been realized before. So we know that all of us at the level of our creative beingness, that creative medium aspect of ourselves, are saying yes to abundance, are saying yes to all needs met, are saying yes to whatever personnel is necessary, are saying yes to all supplies needed for this divine idea. For we know God has it because it is it all. We give thanks for it all. And in gratitude, we release this word and we let it be. And so it is. Amen. Ashe. Thank you, Booker, for your service. Thank you, ushers, for your service. As the ushers are preparing to support us through this offertory process, it's simply a way for us to move beyond whatever limited thoughts we may be having about what we're able to give. We're able to move beyond what we gave yesterday and be able to give more than we did. Because we know that giving is another way of saying, I love you, East Bay. And so as we do this now, whether it is by texting or whether it is by kiosk or whether it is by a check or cash, we know that none of those forms are of interest to God, but it is of interest to his works. And so we are such a work. So we give thanks for the givers and the giver's intention. We give thanks for the stretching beyond and we give thanks for the way that this kingdom is revealed through this divine idea that is East Bay. In gratitude, I release my word, I let it be, and so it is.
My wings were heavy, I could not fly, haunted by dreams that were meant to come true. Love was there, but I could not see it. So the voice of salvation came shining through. You said, God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. In the sky of my life was lightning and thunder. I never could trust it, could finally be right. The truth in your eyes said, don't worry, don't wander. You sang a song that has shuttered the lie, and you said, God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. And we sing, God is all. Sing with me. There is. God is all there will ever be. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be.
Giving thanks for the giver, giving thanks for the gifts given, giving thanks for the intention behind the giving, giving thanks for the abandon through which it was given, giving thanks for the gratitude from which it was given, giving thanks for each person who is the East Bay Church of Religious Science, each expression of it, each revealing more good. In gratitude, I release my word and I let it be, and so it is. Amen. Thank you, ushers, so much for your service, your willingness to be available. So we have children. We have our youth ministry who is active today. Let's see where they are.
Thank you. I am Stacy Sadek, practitioner, and Fabiana Crenshaw was with us also today. And we have Haley, Lucas, and Daniel. Our theme for the day.
Accepting more good than yesterday.
So we started off our session today, although my New Year's resolution is definitely always get in better shape, continue to lose weight, get in good health. And Lucas started us off with a challenge around push-ups. So his first thing was he could do 100. So let's break this down to 10. Then he went up to 20. And then he challenged the teachers So I could do 5. So we had a really good discussion today, really rich around the value of school and whether school is actually relevant in the way that it's being approached. Very, very rich and deep. And seems to be the younger years are connecting more, and then as middle school gets into the throes of algebra, it seems to be irrelevant. And so if there's any educators out there, our young people are ready to discuss the way they want to see school show up. So Lucas has something to share in Daniel. So go ahead. You can share whatever it is about
Good evening, everybody. How are you? I will be telling you what we learned today. What I learned today was of the world being healthy, helping everybody who is hurt, sick, whatever.
Thank you, Lucas.
Good evening. Good evening, East Bay Church. So what we learned today is what we're going to reach our goals and do better than we did yesterday.
Thank you. And this is little Sydney that came with us today. Thank you, Sydney. Let's give her a hand. Oh, Madison. I'm sorry, Madison. Yay. Okay, so let's just stretch out our hands and give the kids some love. We see you.
We see you.
We know who you are.
We know who you are.
We love you.
We love you.
And we support you unconditionally.
We support you unconditionally.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Fabiana, for your service. So, I think the teachers were getting put in shape by the students. God is all there is, right? The teacher is the student, and the student is the teacher. I know I'm staying a student. I got so much to learn, don't you? Let's stand for our benediction now. Take the hand of God beside you. Feel that love within you radiating through you and sending it to people on each side of you. Know that that is the energy of the I am. That is the energy of the Christ within you, the Atman presence, the Buddha nature. It is the allness of spirit revealing itself as you. And so we bless this time together. We know it is good. We give thanks for the pulpit assistant, for the musicians, for each usher, for everyone who has said yes to this service, those vigil holders who have been holding the high watch, and for each person who has assisted me in any way through this service, from the announcers to getting my tea or whatever else. We're knowing the ushers who greeted us with their smiling love, and everybody in the sound booth, every camera that has been directed our way has been blessing people beyond our walls. So we give thanks for the way the Spirit continues to reverberate even in the replays. And each of us helped to create this beautiful experience. So we hold it in our hearts knowing that it is not leaving when we leave. We bless it all, giving thanks for it all. I release this word and I let it be. And so it is. Amen. Yes.
Mother, 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 there's far too many of you crying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Oh, Father, Father, we don't need to hesitate. War is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring understanding here today. Oh, and picket signs and picket lines with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on?